Well, today is Saturday, January 2nd, 2021. It's so easy to say because I just wanted to get rid of 2020, so it's just easy to say 2021. But we have a birthday today. Today is Brooke Toppin, T-O-P-P-I-N, or is it Toppin? Doesn't matter, Brooke, you still get a song. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Brooke. Happy birthday to you. Cha-cha-cha. Well, I hope you have a great birthday. Today was like a different kind of day for me. Usually on Saturdays I do my morning highlights, or my weekly highlights. Can't get that word out today. My weekly highlights out. And now that I'm doing them on Friday, it kind of like, I don't know, kind of like made my Saturday mornings just a little bit different. I thought, I'm usually doing something before noon. What am I usually? I'm usually getting my highlights up before noon. So it was a little bit different. I do have to tell you though, because I'm doing this now at night. I didn't do it in the morning. When I took all my decorations down yesterday, I had put all of the gifts that Jim and I got just on the table. And so I was going through it and putting them away where they belonged and stuff like that. And then I did my puzzle, because I'm doing a puzzle. And I started working on the puzzle a little bit. And it was just like, the day was kind of like getting away from me, not doing anything. I did a couple loads of laundry. But I have to tell you that I'm really glad that I switched my day till Friday. Because usually my usual Saturday routine is to get up and, do my weekend let everybody, well, this is something I have to get back into the habit of, is I always text the brat over at Smack Vision, Ange and Sue over at Sue Slims Down. We always text back and forth our weight losses and gains, or whatever it is, how we did on the scale. Ange's is on Mondays and Sue's does hers on Fridays. And then on Saturday mornings, I get up and I do my little thumbnail for my highlights to show you how much I've lost. Not so much in the last couple of weeks, but usually how much I've lost. And then I text my son, Danny, and then I text my sister, Denise, and my sister, Mary, and then I text my daughter, Christy, to let them know how I did. Well, part of the reason I didn't text them today was because I was ashamed. Yesterday I told you I gained 4.4. I looked at my tracker again when I was writing it in my book, because I keep it in a journal. Oh no, I gained 4.6. I gained an extra 0.2 pounds. I was like, oh my gosh, Sandy, you're going the wrong way. That was just, it was just, but anyway. So usually on Saturdays I text everybody, and I didn't text anybody because I'm used to doing it just before I do my highlight meeting, and I didn't do a highlight meeting, so it kind of threw me off track a little bit. And then my son finally, well, no, my daughter called me first, and she said, I've been waiting for you to text me to let me know how you did. And I says, well, you'll be waiting a long time because I did really badly. But I usually tell them whether I gained or lost anyhow. And then I explained it. She says, well, you can still text me on Friday. Even if I'm working, I can, like I'll see the text when it comes through. I said, okay. So I thought, well, I should call Danny. And I thought, nah. So then Danny called me. Well, what's the deal? What's going on? So, and I said, no, I gained and blah, blah, blah. So he said, well, okay. But anyway, back to why I'm thinking such a good idea that I did it on Saturday is after I do my meeting highlights, and then that's when I kind of start to go crazy on Saturday, eating just about everything in sight. And then like Sundays, I'm fine because it's like I got it all out of my system on Saturday after I got weighed. Well, since I weighed myself yesterday and I don't eat a lot on Fridays, I didn't go crazy. I didn't go crazy at all. And then today it just seemed like the day after the highlight meeting, that's when I get back to business, the day after the highlight meeting. And so I stayed on track today. I did really, really well. I was really surprised because another thing I did today is I tried to set some short-term goals for the next 30 days. What are my goals for the next 30 days? Now, I told you that one of my goals was to eat vegetables at every meal. I'm going to show you my breakfast and my lunch, and I have to tell you what I had for dinner because I forgot to film it. But I couldn't come up with a way to have a vegetable for breakfast. So I didn't have a vegetable for breakfast. So I'm kind of rethinking the fact that unless I make an omelet with a vegetable, I just don't see me having a vegetable for breakfast. Unless I have like a vegetable platter, which I have had in the past, but because like I told you, I don't eat my first meal till like 1 or 2 o'clock. So I could do it that way, but on the days like I have oatmeal or French toast or even just a hard-boiled egg or something, it's kind of hard to stick a vegetable in there. But I'm still going to go with my ultimate 30-day goal of eating more vegetables and less fruit. And I know everybody's telling me that, the fruit is high in, nutrients and stuff, and low in calories, and I understand all of that, but I think that, I think you can eat anything in excess. I know they say I've never met anybody that was overweight that binged on broccoli. It's true. I don't know anybody that's ever been overweight that binged on broccoli or any kind of vegetable. But it only stands to reason that your body needs a little bit of everything. It needs, minerals and vegetables and proteins and grains and fat. It does need fats. As much as we don't like to put fats in our body, it definitely needs fats. So we got to get all of the food groups in there. So, but then I want to get back to walking, but it's really hard for me to walk outside in January. It really is really hard because we have a lot of like sleety snow and icy rain mixes. Even when it snows, my subdivision, very few people actually clear their snow off. And I have walking sticks. I just can't master them. I'm just a klutz. And I just think that I'd look like, I don't really care what I look like, but I think like, look at her, she's a downhill skier or something like that, a cross-country skier. And I don't like walking on a treadmill. And I know that Dish with D does a glam squad in the afternoons every day. They do a Leslie Sansone walking video. I am not coordinated enough to do those things. I mean, it sounds silly. People say it's just a walking exercise, but it's like you got to walk forward and backwards and sideways, and unless I'm looking at the wrong videos, and I am just not coordinated. I have new knees, but not new knees. They're like 10 years old. I got them done in 2007. I had knee replacements. Oh no, now they're almost 14 years old. Jeez. That reminds me of when I did have my one knee done. I had my right knee done in just before Christmas in 2007, and I had it done. No, I had it done the week after Thanksgiving, and so it was about 2 weeks in after after I had it done. Then Christmas was rolling around, and we went to Bertie's house, as a matter of fact, for our Christmas Eve celebration. Oh, remember when we used to go to people's houses for Christmas? Remember that? Remember when everybody was all around, and it was like everybody was there? This year we're going to do it. But anyway, so I remember that, like she usually has her Christmas down in the basement, but because I couldn't do stairs, we had it up in the living room. And Tom, Jim's brother, Bertie had brought up an ottoman, because it was bigger than a footstool. It was an ottoman. She had brought it up from the basement and put it in the living room so that I could put my leg up, and because I couldn't keep it bent all the time, and I was sitting on the couch, and then Tom came to sit on the ottoman, like he was talking to people. And I very nicely did ask him, I said, Tom, I would prefer you didn't sit there because you wouldn't mean to, but you might inadvertently like ram into my, like when you're like talking with somebody or bump my knee or something. I said, and I still got stitches, and it really, I'm really being very careful. I really wasn't going to come today because I really had a hard time getting out of the house because I'd only been like 2 weeks from the surgery. And he got really mad at me. And so then Jim will defend me to the end of the earth. Sometimes I don't think I deserve to be defended because I can be a little bit of a sometimes. But I know that's hard to believe. But anyway, so Jim came over and says, Tom, you need to move. And he says, well, I'm fine. And she says, no, she doesn't want you sitting there. And then he says, it's an ottoman. You can sit on an ottoman. It's not like it's a footstool. And then Bertie came in and she said, Tom, if you might bump into her leg. She just had surgery. he says, I'm not going to bump into her leg. I know she just had surgery. And I said, well, I'm trying to tell him that I know that he wouldn't do it on purpose, but, you know, he would bump into me. And so she said, no. He said, no, I won't. I would never do that. So then Jim says, just get up. So then Jim went to pull him up, and then he was pulling back. And I said, oh, no, now I am going to get hurt. Leave it alone. I'll just go sit somewhere else. And then Jim says, you're not moving. So then Tom says, well, I'm not moving. I says, I'm just getting up. So I got up to walk someplace else. I had my walker, because I had a walker still. And I'm walking away to go somewhere else. And then everybody started getting mad at Tom. And then Tom, he says, well, then I'll just leave. And I said, don't leave. I said, just sit somewhere else. I don't know what the big deal is, why you couldn't sit somewhere else. And so then Bertie comes out and she says, well, dinner's ready. It's like, oh my gosh. You know, everybody's like, ah. I'm going, ho, 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 Merry Christmas. It was, but, so he said, well, I said, Tom, just sit there. I don't care. Just sit there. And like, I'm watching him the whole time. And sure enough, did he not bump into my leg? And I like let out a scream. I mean, he didn't deliberately do it. I know he didn't deliberately do it. But he bumped into my knee. And that hurt like a bugger, let me tell you. And I let out a whoop like you wouldn't believe. And then he felt really bad. And then Jim got mad at him again. And they started, I thought, oh, can this evening never be done? It was. I thought that was a Christmas to remember. That was nothing. That pales in comparison to this past Christmas. But anyway, we opened up our gifts. I forget who got the ugly gift that night. It just turned out to be a better night, but it was just a tense moment. So anyway, why did I get on this story? Let me remind me again why I went on to that Christmas story. I don't know. I don't know. Sometimes I just a story will pop into my head and I'll start telling it, and I have no reason to rhyme or reason why I remembered it or why I even said it. And when I'm editing, I'm going to watching the video and editing it tonight. I'm going to say, oh, that's what I want. That's what I was talking about. I know I was talking about my goals for the month of January, but we're walking, not being coordinated. I knew it would get back to me. Sometimes it takes a minute. It goes in here and it rattles around and it rattles around, and then it goes, should we leave or should we stay or should we go or should we go? You know, and then I remember. I am not very coordinated since I got my knees replaced, because that reminds me of another story when I got my knee replaced. I know I've told that one before. When I went on, I was on the operating room, and they didn't mark my leg. You know, usually they mark your leg to let you know so they don't amputate the wrong leg or whatever, you know. And they gave me my shot, and then just before they knocked me out, isn't that a nice term, knocked you out? But before they sedated me or whatever, because I wasn't going to be fully sedated. I wasn't going to be completely, I was just going to be like in a twilight, because it was just getting the spinal from the waist down. So I'd be aware of what was going on. I didn't have a problem with that. But then he says, well, okay, well, you know, like, and he poked it, and he says, can you feel that? And I go, well, yeah. And then he poked me again with a little, can you feel that? And I go, no. And so then he said, you can't. And then he said to the anesthesiologist, are you sure you're giving her enough anesthetic? And he said, yeah, she should be completely numb. And she pokes me again, and I said, I can feel it. And so then he says, let's see something. And he pokes the other leg. I can't feel it. Can't feel a thing. Can't feel a thing. Well, when he gave me the local, it was like for the left side of my body, not the right side of my body. So I said, well, just do the left side, because I'm already sedated. And he says, well, we can't. We have the x-rays for the right side of the body. So I was completely paralyzed from the waist down for like 12 hours, because they gave me like so many doses in that. But anyway, so back to the Glam Squad with Dish with Dee. She does that every afternoon, I guess, but I'm not coordinated enough to do that, and I miss going out for my walks. So my point is, I'm going to try to walk around the house more for the month of January. Well, it took me about 5 minutes to get into that. And then no snacks, no sweets or sugars or anything like that for at least 30 days. I'm not going to have any cookies, any cakes, any pies. The only thing is my sister's birthday is the 25th of January, but we're still going to be physically distant, so I'm not going to be tempted by a piece of cake for that. I I did get some Godiva chocolate for Christmas. I hid it. Well, I didn't really hide it because I know where I hid it. But I put it away because it's not to say that I'm never going to have a piece of chocolate again. I'm going to have some chocolate again. I'm not going to have any in January. I know that. I'm not going to have any ice cream or anything like that in January. But I don't want to see it and have it tempt me. So I put it somewhere that I know where it is, but it's not like in my everyday line of vision. So it's just something I can look forward to, like when I want to figure it back into my points. But I know that I need a month of withdrawal. And it's chocolate. It's not going to expire. It's going to always be good. So even if I don't eat it in February, it'll be there, I guess is my point. But my plan is to be successful, because the only way that's going to count is like when you use the second letter, U, success. You, depends on you. Depends on nobody else but you. So that's my plan. That is my plan for the month of January. And get back on track, doing all my tracking. Like I said, I showed you my breakfast, and I showed you my lunch, and I'll show you that here. For dinner, I was going to have a bowl of chili. I'd taken it out of the freezer. I was going to have some chili and a sandwich, a ham and cheese sandwich. But Jim went to Burger King, and I thought, I really want a Burger King. And I know I was saying I was cutting back, and I know I was tracking. So I went on my tracker, and I saw that I still had 12 points left for the day that I could still use. And so I thought, practice what you preach, Sandy. Practice what you preach. You can eat whatever you want as long as you figure it into your budget. So I went on the app for the restaurants, and I went under Burger King, and I found something that I could eat that was within the thing, and it would still satisfy me. And so I got a Junior Whopper, and I drank my Simply Light lemonade, which is 1 point. The Junior Whopper was 11 points, and the lemonade was 1, so that was 12. I had 8 for my breakfast, so that's brought it to 20, and I had 3 for my lunch, so 23. So I hit my points right on the money. Had something that I really wanted to have, although I really, truth be told, I would have rather had the regular big cheese Whopper with extra pickles, extra mayo, but I didn't. Just a Junior cheese Whopper, or no, just a Junior Whopper rather, and able to fit it into my points, not feeling any guilt, and feeling pretty good about my choices today. I really am. I didn't get a lot of exercise in. I did a little bit of movement. I think I've got, let me see how many steps I got. Let's see how many steps I got. Oh, I got to charge my phone. I just noticed that. And I got an Apple Watch for my birthday, which I love. I absolutely love my Apple Watch. And I have, how come it's not telling me my steps? Oh, here we go. 9,347. So I got a little bit of walking in around the house today. So, and it's what, 7:45. I think I did pretty good for that, for the little bit of walking around I did in the house with cleaning and folding laundry and things like that. So, okay, I'm going to show you my food now. I will be back tomorrow. I'm not so sure tomorrow I'm going to show you my food, because I like to do my video just before I go to my church services. And I know people were surprised that I showed my food on Friday, because I usually don't show you my food on Fridays, but since I'm doing my weigh-ins on Fridays, I'm going to start showing you my food. I'm still not going to show it to you on Sundays. But anyway, I babbled on too long. Too long. Okay, that's it. Here's my food, and as always, like, comment, subscribe, share, and please, please, please stay safe. We're so close to the finish line. So close, and we don't want to mess it up now. So, okay. Let's see what I ate today, because you know what? I did pretty well. Okay, let's eat breakfast. Today is Saturday, January 2nd. As always, I started my day with a prayer. My quote is, "Your success will be determined by your own confidence and dedication." It's an 8-point breakfast, 4 points for a half a cup of dry oatmeal, 1 point for a quarter cup of 2% milk. The orange juice is 8 points. No, it's 6 points for just a whole glass. So I decided to split it in half for 3 points for 4 ounces of orange juice, and then I put 4 ounces of cranberry juice in it. And so that's 0 for the cranberry juice, the banana, and my tea. It's an 8-point breakfast, so I still have 15. I know I said I was going to have a vegetable at every meal, but I couldn't think of a vegetable that went with oatmeal. If you have any suggestions, please let me know in the comments below. Okay, lunchtime. I'm going to have a 3-point lunch. 0 for my eggs, my tea, my tomato, my jello, and my lettuce. 1 point for my tablespoon of Miracle Whip, and 2 points for my 2 slices of Aunt Millie bread. It's a 3-point lunch, 12 points left for my dinner.